Just a centrifugal force of the what is it? Not gyroscopes. Gyroscopes? Maybe that is what it is.
No, a gyroscope is a that thing where you turn it and new images appear.
You're thinking a kaleidoscope.
That's a kaleidoscope.
Oh! So that one In Flames song means something completely different.
That's only Sylvester the Cute
Kid of the Jaeger boy!
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome to... We're going to learn about gyroscopes today.
Man, I was not excited.
God damn it!
I was not
There's a
expecting
classic In Flames song called Gyroscope.
And you thought it was about these, like, metal dudes looking
Well,
in tubes at a bunch of colors?
I thought it was kind of druggy, no? But at the same time, I looked on the internet to find out what a fucking gyroscope is, but nobody would tell me. So I couldn't correct my assumption, and I thought my assumption was asinine. And guess what? It is!
Too afraid to ask. Too
No!
bold to die.
No, I was not too afraid to ask. Nobody was courageous enough to answer. What the fuck is a gyroscope?
You got one in your hand right now.
This is what a gyroscope is?
That's basically what a gyroscope is. It's
So a
just
fidget
anything...
spinner is a gyroscope.
Yes. Mm-hmm. A centrifuge also is a gyroscope.
That makes
penis.
so much more sense!
A penis can be a gyroscope.
Although to be fair, kaleidoscope.
Meat spin is a gyroscope.
Although to be fair, my interpretation was not that off because the way that I saw the gyroscope, which was as a kaleidoscope, I saw it as a representation of history moving in a circular fashion, which is not far off from what the gyroscope would be a much easier and more functional metaphor for.
Right.
So,
Oh, geez.
I'm pretty
It's
fucking
so
good.
much over
Gyroscopes are in all of your phones and most electronic devices
I would assume that they're
for vibrators or for
I would assume that they're a huge function of any motor.
motors
Like electric powered gyroscopes would be like a huge part of pretty much any
and
combustion engine.
compasses.
Yep.
Oh, of course.
Compasses, of course.
Like I don't even know how that would work, but it's like, oh yeah.
The main idea of a gyroscope is that it's not just something that spins.
Although it is something
Like,
that spins.
as a verb, something that gyroscopes is something that spins. The main gyroscope is like a big disc with a bunch of discs around it that free spin, and the weight of all the discs make it so that it can freely spin in 360-degree motion.
Like a fidget spinner.
Well,
I'm
like
sorry, say that again.
it's like a fidget spinner with a bunch of fidget spinners around it.
Oh yeah.
So
try-
it can oscillate in 3 dimensions.
Ah,
I just want to say, we were trying
so
to
this is
explain
the
a fidget
gyroscope of time. All right. Yeah.
When people say the gyroscope of time, they mean some trippy looking shit, but they do not mean a kaleidoscope.
To be fair, well, I can basically just say the same thing that I had before. I think this is as trippy as a kaleidoscope. So
Yeah, gyroscopes are pretty fucking trippy.
spinner. Yep.
So it all works in the end.
So let's look at these lyrics, because I actually haven't listened to the song.
Let's look at the inflamed lyrics of the song Gyroscope, now that we know it's not a bunch of dorky metalheads looking in a tube at light.
Yes, please.
I mean, to be fair,
You know,
they're
this
still
is-
pretty fucking dorky.
This isn't the 70s, this is like 2010.
Oh, hey, somebody added gyroscope to genius.com. Good shit.
Rush would make a song called Kaleidoscope. Yes would make a song called Kaleidoscope, where they're all just looking in a bunch of tubes at light.
The Beatles did make a song called Kaleidoscope.
Oh, did they?
Oh, wait, no. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds mentions a kaleidoscope.
That's
what I'm
right.
thinking. Yep.
Kaleidoscopic eyes. Mm-hmm. Look at these motherfuckers right here. Halloween aesthetic gone very wrong.
Okay,
Yep.
because here's the other thing.
They look like a party, one of those party stores exploded on them.
Kraken and Buer Bueller.
They like made up these fucking monsters. It's horrifying.
Okay, so I think part of the reason I got the idea of the kaleidoscope is there's a lyric in the song that goes, a diabolical sequence of stabs written in cutting stone. And I thought the idea was that the kaleidoscope itself would be made out of like this ominous sort of like circular stone.
Death kaleidoscope.
Right. Yeah.
It's the last thing you see.
We're talking about melodic death metal here.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like these are some pretty fucking abstract lyrics, you know, but
The last thing you see before you die is the death kaleidoscope.
But somebody offers the much more obvious explanation that it's a diabolical sequence of stabs written in cutting stone is a tombstone.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like the pizza? Nothing.
Just like the pizza.
No, like a gravestone.
Oh,
Yes.
the contract that you seal at the end of your life to push you into the skeleton wars.
Unless it's
If your tombstone doesn't say rest in peace.
then you're gonna fight in the skeleton wars. Unless you were cremated. Either has to say rest in peace or you have to be cremated.
That's the draft. The draft to the skeleton war.
Oh my
Ah,
god. Right.
Oh shit.
How's our pup doing?
Accidentally attacking itself.
Oh,
Classic.
Fun fact, this song is one of the primary reasons that that Wolfhymn got its name. Because it's one of the many heavy metal songs with like meaningful lyrics that referenced wolves in a metaphorical context.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I've got a fucking roll of
Fancy.
Smarties.
Woo!
You have Smarties?
Yeah!
Where'd you get
Sharing
Smarties?
At work.
Pop
It
me
was
some
in a
Smarties,
fucking-
my man.
It was
Get
a
us
it was in a
Smarties.
fucking bucket, and I like grabbed them from the bucket and showed them to my boss, like, "Here, I have these," and I was like, "Oh yeah, take them."
Hell yeah.
Okay, this
Sorry, that's how Smarties make me feel.
Same!
You got Smarties?
I love Smarties. Do you guys like Smarties?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I used to be the only guy I knew that liked Smarties.
Smarties are the best.
Sweet.
I wanna refocus on. No, I don't want to refocus on.
Fuck this game.
No, I have a question though about the video game I'm watching. Is there any combination? Is there any reason that these two are fighting next to each other? I'm seeing Watera and Fyra, or Waturga and Fyraga.
Well, before we saw a combination
Firaga.
of...
Makes more sense.
For the love of God, dude. Fira and Firaga.
Well, we saw... I'm assuming that the Bureau is supposed to be like a fire thingy, since it has some red.
It's supposed to say Buell for one.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Bueller.
Yeah, that looks wrong.
Yeah, it's a wrong liquid consonant.
Anyways, I think it's supposed to be somewhat fire related,
Right.
because you have... Last fight you had wind and earth together. The Minotaur
okay.
and Tiamat.
Okay.
Here you have water and fire together.
So they're both
Which-
supposed to be elements. Okay. Are they doing anything else that would combine well? Because it seems like they're just two random people that happen to be opposite elements.
Yeah, I don't know. They could have gone with the rest of Final Fantasy 1 and had it be Lich in the other fights and Merilith in this one. But no! They had to half-ass it. They literally half-assed it.
Here's the thing. I feel like on the cutting floor of designing this game, they had 4 boss fights, but they couldn't figure out how to make it work. And so they just slapped them all together into pairs. And that's why you fight 2 at once now.
I'd believe it.
I just don't see any other reason why these two even fight side by side, except that, like, one's not the protector and the other's the fighter. One's not support and the other's the tank. It's just like random stuff happens, and then we all die.
I mean, we're not dying, but sure. Yeah.
That just applies to life.
Oh, yes. Then yes.
Random stuff happens, and then we all die. Is there an In Flames song about that?
Huh? What?
Is there an In Flames song about that?
About what?
About random stuff just happening and then we all die?
Probably. Probably multiple.
Here's some more Smarties.
Aw.
QB, I'm gonna feed you some
Shit.
Smarties.
Ah.
Hey, you took that. Give me one.
Yeah. I took like 6. No. Close enough. Feeding my boys.
That was 2. Did you have one? Mm-hmm. Oh, good.
We
that
all
was a good
smartied up.
review so far.
This is a great episode of television. I'm so happy right now. I got Smarties.
Yeah, the fucking Final Fantasy VII thing from the last episode that I just didn't even talk about. So,
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, okay, let's recap.
one of the
Last episode
when I was
on World of Final Fantasy.
when I was writing about, I decided for the last chapter of the book to try and write a brief, informal analysis of the design and how the design contributes to the thematic framework.
Yep.
And basically just noting that the only reason I didn't make this into a more major argument is because I don't have as strong of a framework to achieve it. You know? But I noted that, you know, one of the reasons that Final Fantasy VII is remembered so well as a JRPG is because no other JRPG I can think of asks for as intense a level of attention to detail in the simulation of human care, which I argued in the last episode and before that the JRPG is a simulation of human care, despite what we're seeing on screen. And Final Fantasy VII really has that because of everything that kind of makes it famous. Not everything that makes it famous, but, you know, the
Did you just hit yourself again?
It was
Reflected you.
It was reflect.
the classic JRPG trope of, you know, healing your characters after battle and resting in inns and tents and all that sort of thing. The raising and rearing and breeding of chocobos is a care simulation.
Yep.
The dating minigame is you know, it's a very, very, like, mechanically simple game where just, like, certain decisions add up to points and things like that, and it operates very subtly and the game doesn't tell you that it's going on, but, you know, it asks you to keep track of how you're treating people, you know, and it also makes you realize that just saying the nicest possible thing to any one person at one time is not always the best way to organize your life, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know,
Aw.
because the thing about, like, you can buy the flower from Eris right at the beginning of the game, which, like, you know, makes her feel great about you, and then you can give the flower to Tifa, which makes her feel great about you as well, you know. And so you can get the, if you're wanting to roleplay as intensely as I have sometimes when playing these games, you know, you can get to a point where you say, I don't want to be, like, leading people on, or, you know, and that sort of thing. Well, the other thing being that, like, you can play the game strategically to get the particular person that you want to date, but the other thing about it is that when you do that, one of the sub-results is that you do communicate clearly to people, like, emotional boundaries, you know?
Like when you tell everyone to fuck off, and then you go on a date with Barret. That's my favorite way to do it.
Well, more so, you just don't let people in who are clearly, like, angling for a position that you don't want them to have. Mm-hmm. You know? So, there's that, Chocobo thing, battle mechanics, the story itself. Yeah, there's just a really strong argument to be made that the whole, like, healing your characters after battle and in the middle of battle and stuff like that is just has a really strong place in the genre, and it seems like it's been gotten rid of too easily.
I don't know about that. In this game, you don't get to, or you get to heal after battle, but it doesn't heal for you.
Huh?
I mean, if you want to heal after battle, you still have to use cure and items and stuff like that in
Right.
between battles.
No, yeah, no, that's what I think it should be, as opposed to something like Final Fantasy 13, where you're not only accruing restorative items, but also being healed after every battle to the point where the restorative items are only used in pinch situations and battles, which is already kind of a problem in Final Fantasy games because you do still accumulate all of those items and shit like that, and a lot of them get saved for the end game to where you can just spam mega elixirs to, you know, and all that sort of thing.
Which we're about to do.
Which we're definitely about to do.
We're gonna do that right now.
But yeah, so I mean, there were already problems with that system. But when you, like, automate the character healing and stuff like that, you break the balance and you break the semiotics of the genre.
I guess. I mean, one thing about all these healing items type of thing is that there's very little incentive to use them over curative magic. Other than you get MP that you can just charge again.
Oh, well, I mean, MP is, I mean, I just, spells and items I see in the same fashion.
Oh.
For this.
Swords.
But having magic that you can use as a different resource and then having items that restore that resource, but then also having items that do that without, as their own resource, there's a very distorted... There's a very, very distorted design language of healing in JRPGs that's become a problem. It's been a problem almost since the very beginning. Almost since the very, very beginning.
That means they were the keys that open it.
But it used to be less of a problem because the games used to be less mechanically complex. In the original Dragon Quest, it's like, oh, of course.
Okay.
I have limited inventory space, so, once I run out of herbs, I have to use the spell, or once I run out of MP, I have to use the herbs.
Mm-hmm.
So, that adds up. But then once you start getting, multiple party members who can all act independently of each other, and, it gets, your healing potential can become very
Chapter 20.
overpowered. I see you falling asleep.
What? No, I wasn't falling asleep. I was watching the doors get stabbed.
With your eyes closed.
I saw the doors
dinger-
get stabbed.
Dinger dang dong swords.
Also, we're at chapter 20, which is the prophecy's end or whatever the fuck, so I'm pretty sure it's the goddamn end of the game.
Yeah, 20 of 21.
We did it. We died, went to heaven.
Yay!
Throw Lon off the cliff and send him back to hell.
Bye, Lon.
Tomorrow.
Throw it off the cliff and send it back to hell!
Han Solo, Sylvester, the Cubic Kid, and the Jaeger boy. Your mom's not here. Your mom's in hell.